Hi guys, Billy back, and this here is Daisy Domergue. Now this is the 1/6 scale Asmus Daisy Domergue from the Hateful Eight movie. Yeah, it's been out a while, but unfortunately my funds have always been tied up with other pre-orders and whatnot. So I found this on eBay and I put a few bids in and I won it for just below £120 I think, and I think that was just probably a really good kind of price for it. However, as you can see, there is a slight problem with it, and it looks like the box has been a bit sun damaged. Those red stripes just there should be a little bit more vibrant red, I believe, but it looks like it's been sun bleached. It's probably been sitting in a window or a shop shelf somewhere. And when I unboxed it, I was quite surprised to see just how washed out the colour was. But yeah, this is just going to be as interesting for me to find out what this figure's like as it is for you. Okay, as you can see, it's definitely got the Hateful Eight branding on it. You've got the 8 stripes representing the 8 people, and then you've got Daisy Domergue, the prisoner. You've got a picture of her there, all your Hateful Eight logos, and a picture of the snowy mountain in the back. And then on the side again, we've got like a nice spot gloss Hateful Eight that's raised off the cover, and then more pictures of the mountain work. And we've got all our lovely warnings here. If you want to read it, you can. Asmus logos, Asmus toys. It's an R-rated movie. It's got the Ultra Panavision logo there. I'm wondering if Quentin Tarantino insisted that this Ultra Panavision logo be on everything. I don't know, but yeah, he found a couple of lenses and he just wouldn't shut up for the entire duration of promoting this film. And then of course we've got the Weinstein Company, the lovely, family-friendly, very respectful Weinstein Company. Moving very quickly on, Hateful Eight again on this side with a picture of the snowy mountain. And it's a slip sleeve cover, so we can just slide this out. And this is what the figure looks like inside. We can see we've got Daisy, we've got some of her accessories. There's sort of blood splatter along the bottom of the box. Again, the Hateful Eight logo there. And then on the back we've got this lovely picture of the cabin. That would be really nice as a backdrop. Not for me, but I think some other people who collect boxes and, you know, display the figures with their boxes, I think this would be quite nice for them to show off. Hateful Eight up the top and a barcode on the bottom, and that's about it. Okay, let's unbox her and have a look at exactly what we get. Okay, so here she is just straight out of the box, and you can see that she's, I don't know, it doesn't look too bad. I thought it was going to be a bit worse than this, but yeah, it's not too bad. There are a few niggling problems with it, namely the stock body that they've used is not the best, but she does seem to come with quite a few generous accessories, and she comes with this instruction book as well here, which I find quite fitting because there's a little bit in here that says try not to break the guitar. I think Kurt Russell could have done with that in the movie, considering he ended up smashing up the $40,000 Martin guitar that was loaned to the production. Yeah, that's quite a nice little bit of trivia about the Hateful Eight. Kurt Russell literally destroyed a $40,000 historic Martin guitar by accident. They were supposed to yell cut and swap the guitar out, but he was so into the scene, he literally snatched the guitar off of Daisy Domergue, smashes it against the wall, and you can see Jennifer Jason Leigh's reaction in the film is she starts going, whoa, 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 and she turns around. You can see she's clearly looking at the director, and it's because he's smashing up a historical artifact, a museum piece, and everybody just lost their minds. And I think the Martin Museum, who make the Martin guitars, they vowed never to loan guitars out to any other movie production ever again because of what Kurt Russell did. So yeah, it's a very nice little fitting instruction booklet, I think. Yeah, other than that, there's a few interesting accessories. She comes with this little stool that she can sit on while she's playing this Martin guitar, and the stool looks pretty nice. It's a reasonably detailed 1/6 scale stool. Very nice. It's actually got some sort of like texture in there and sort of wood grain, and it feels pretty well made. It's quite sturdy, although they do warn you not to put too much pressure on it, otherwise you'll break it. So if you're going to put anything other than her on it, I don't recommend you do, if you're going to put anything on it, to be honest. But also at the same time, she comes with the Martin guitar, and this is my favourite accessory just because of the details in it. I really love the way, like, mine came with really sort of super straight strings and everything, nice and tight. Also has really sort of nice details up here where the strings gets tightened up with. I don't know the names of bits of a guitar, You can see it's got like you can actually see through, nice 3D sort of like air hole there. It's actually got this piece here for the hand. And it's got a sort of a nice glossy effect to make it look like a really nice guitar. And then of course she comes with this furry hat that goes on her head. And this is way better than the one we got with the Hangman John Ruth. That Hangman John Ruth one was awful. And it should have looked more like this, like sort of like faux fur. But unfortunately it ended up looking like faux flannel or something like that. Hang on. Yeah, that's the John Ruth one. It looks awful. Now compare it to this one. You can see which one is the winner, absolutely. It's got the proper shape as well in it. Whereas this one just looks like a bit of a flannel rag that you slap on top of his head. It's not very good, and I wish I could get someone to make something more like this for this guy. And she comes with a bunch of hands, fisted, open hands, relaxed hands, and they're all fairly nicely detailed. They're a little soft near the ends, like with the fingertips and stuff. I like to think that maybe her hands would be a little grubbier than what they are. And she's got gun holding hands, but I suppose they can kind of double up to be guitar plucking hands. Oh, nearly broke the guitar myself there. And of course she comes with real metal handcuffs. Just in case you don't have Hangman John Ruth already, he also comes with handcuffs that you can sort of tie around her hand there to make it look like she's tethered to someone or just broken free. What would be really nice, to you, if you got like a butchered like forearm or something like that, just you could put on the other end of this, and then she could look like she's just hacked off the other arm from John. And then she comes with the stand, and this is my least favourite accessory, mostly because it just looks so cheap. It's the same as the one with John Ruth, but there's just something about it. It's really hollow, really sort of flimsy feeling, and the details are really soft around the trim here. But the sticker on top, at least it's, you know, still on there. I think the Hangman John Ruth's stand, that sticker was already peeling off. And I suspect that's the exact same thing that will happen to this. In fact, look, it is actually already peeling off at the back here. So yeah, it's not a very nice stand. It looks a little bit cheap and plastic for my liking. But then I don't usually use the stock stands that come with the figures. I sort of make my own proprietary ones. And I pose all my figures with those, unless it comes with a really nice exotic diorama base. A bit like the Evil Dead Ash and the Blitzway Hunters, and the Battle Angel Alita one was really nice. Okay, let's take a look at this head sculpt. Now, you can see it's actually pretty good. They've even bloodied up her nose here after he jabs her in the face with his elbow. You can see she's got a cut on the side of her face. And it's actually got a little bit of gloss in there, which is actually surprisingly a little bit more detailed than maybe the Asmus Ash one was. So it's proof that they can do it. And then you can see she's got a nick there just on right of her eyebrow. She's even got the little crow's feet and everything to make her look a bit tired. And they've done paint flecking inside the skin there, give her that sort of more slightly freckled look. And the black eye. I thought this would be a lot uglier because I remember the prototype giving her the black eye, making it look really bad, look really cheap. But I think they've done a good job with a bit of a subtle black eye rather than a really big, hard, nasty one. And you can see it's slightly darker inside there, where it would be after she's been jabbed in the nose. There's still some blush in her and around the cheeks here. You can see it's slightly lighter on the tip of the chin here than it is up here on the deep parts of the cheekbone. And they've even sort of, I think they've weaved a little bit of darkness into the hair there to make it look a little bit more like a dirty blonde. But yeah, the hairs need some real futs in with this, because it's a bit, I mean, to be honest, she should look a bit haggard and mottled anyway, but I think it's definitely going to need some futs in. You can actually see it's exposing the back of the head there, so that needs to be adjusted. But then looking down, you can see she's got the scarf on. Very nicely coloured as well. Very, very similar to what she was wearing in the film. Even down to the weave. You can see she's got like this fur trim on the coat here, which looks fantastic. Again, I really wish they'd used this kind of fur on the Hangman John Ruth's hat. And then we've got this sort of distressed pleather coat. I don't know how long distressed pleather lasts. If it's like you know, last longer than normal pleather or less. I'm not sure. It feels like it could actually last longer, you know. It doesn't feel like it could dry out and cause you problems later on. But you never know. Ooh, hands have popped off. You come down, you can see the belt sort of tied up. You tighten that up. She's got these nice little buttons just along the front here. And the stitching seems pretty nice. It's not too big, especially around the bottom there, the trim. It's a shame there's no wires in the coat though. But then I wouldn't have thought they would be. I mean, she wasn't like a dynamic sort of figure that you want to be making into action poses and stuff like that. And I think the likeness is there to Jennifer Jason Leigh, especially from certain angles. There's a couple, maybe straight on, not so much, a bit more there. But then if she's standing like that, it's a little less. I think it looks enough like Daisy Domergue that you wouldn't mistake her for anyone else. And we can see that it's quite clean underneath the coat as it would be, but then as we get down to the bottom where it's exposed beyond just underneath the coat, it's started to be weathered and a bit more dry brushed. So it looks a little bit more distressed and worn and, you know, sat in for quite a few days, which it has been. You can see it's got like a little undersuit there. And then she's got the boots, and the boots look okay. They're a little soft in detail, but they work for the figure. I do wish they were a little bit more weathered, but such is the world. And then if we open the coat, we can see she's got her blouse on there. And I actually like the fact that they've, you know, they haven't given her like a huge bust or anything like that. They've actually like made a sort of proprietary upper rubber piece here so that she can actually look a bit more screen accurate to the actress, rather than just be one of these big chested bimbo looking dolls. My only problem with the dress is now that it's been in the box for so long and laid flat for so long, it's hard to get some volume back into it to make it look like it is actually a dress, because at the moment it looks really flat, especially from the side like that. Okay, and here she is with the hat on, and I do like the way it looks. It is way nicer looking than John Ruth's one, that's for sure. Puts his one to shame. But yeah, I actually really like how she's starting to look now. Again, it's not a perfect figure, and if you're spending like 150, 160, 170 pounds on her, you might be a little underwhelmed. But the fact that I paid 120, which is, you know, same price as a cheap third party figure, I can't really complain. And one slight criticism I have is that she only comes with 2 gloved hands, whereas the rest are just plain exposed hands. Now I know she probably only needs 2 gloved hands in a relaxed form, because mostly if she's in all her outdoor gear she only wears the gloves for a little while, but still, for me, I would have liked if we'd have got a few extra different gloved hands rather than them all be sort of stock bare normal hands, because I have a funny feeling that these were just included with the bodies that they got sent, rather than actually sculpting and making new hands for her. Okay, so I just tried to get her into like a guitar playing pose. It is a little bit fiddly. The arms can be a tad loose, and you know, the hair isn't the best. It can get a bit scraggly and all over the place. But yeah, I would like a bit more decent guitar holding hands, because it looks like they've just used a couple of stock hands. And unfortunately, these wires are actually metal wire, so they bend. So if you actually are posing her and your hand rubs against them, it can knock them out of whack and actually dent them and make them look really ugly. So that is again a big problem. I would have much preferred if they'd have used like a really sort of thin plastic string, so that if you did pluck them or move them around, they just go straight back to, you know, their normal shape, rather than these, which if I was to pull this now and bend it, it would always stay bent. Very annoying. And here is John Ruth introducing her to the other residents of Minnie's haberdashery. And I like how they look together. I still really like the Hangman John Ruth figure. I do. I just think it's a great looking figure. Such a big fan of the film, so I really was happy to get the Hangman John Ruth in the collection. I was surprised anybody made any figures for this, so the fact that we got 3 is very surprising to me. And now I've actually got 2 in the collection. But now that I do have 2, I am tempted to get the Jackson version. So if you have that figure and you're interested in, you know, trading it or selling it, let me know. But overall, for the price I paid, she's a really nice figure, but she definitely ticks all the boxes for the price I paid. Okay guys, hope you enjoyed the video. Like and subscribe. Do me a favour now if you can get the fuck out of my cave. Thanks a lot guys. Bye bye.